Our role as a citizen is to emulate that of a ferret. Now we say, well, what is a ferret? What characterizes a ferret? Well, first thing, a ferret has very high energy. If you've looked at a ferret, if you've held one or played with one, these little critters, there's no bound on their energy. They will be everywhere all at the same time. So if we're going to be an informed citizen, we're ferrets. We have a high level of energy to understand and to know what's going on in our political system. At the same time, ferrets are very, very inquisitive. They want to know what's inside that box. They want to know what's around the corner. They want to know what's in a dark room. Ferrets are inquisitive. And so as we look at this, we say, well, as an informed, active voter, I am to be inquisitive. My call is to be inquisitive. Now, inquisitive means you don't sit back and allow information to come to me. A ferret does not sit back. A ferret explores. A ferret discovers. A ferret satisfies its own curiosity. That means we're inquisitive. We don't simply rely on the media. We simply do not rely upon campaign literature, but we will go a step beyond so that we can understand and inquire what are the consequences. Ferrets, another characteristic is that they explore dark corners. If you have a box, if you have a dark corner, a ferret will be there in a nanosecond because they want to know what's there. What is hidden? Is there something hidden that they need to know about? So as a ferret, we have high energy, we are inquisitive, and we were willing to explore what we call the dark places. We'll end up backgrounds that may not be readily available. We will seek it out, and so that we know what's behind the door, what's inside the box. If there's anything hidden that we need to know, because it may be that there are certain segments of a policy decision that for whatever reason is not being publicized traditionally. We will find that out. That's our goal. Ferrets have a mind of their own when it comes to a task. Ferrets are, if you're going to have a ferret for a pet, you have to be willing to spend a lot of time to train it, to work with it, because ferrets do have a mind of their own. You know, if somebody has a dog for a pet, the dog, you can train them, the dog will come and go and play fetch. Ferrets have a mind of their own. They're going to find out that information. If you tell them no, they're going to discover it anyway. In political processes, when we're looking at candidates, we're looking at policy issues, we can look at everything. What does this mean? We can look at if we're dealing with a candidate, we can look at their social background. What have they done? What have they not done? What groups are they involved with? We can look at their professional background. What careers have they followed? What have they done? What have they achieved in their career? We can look at their academic, their achievements. We can look at their experiences, a variety of areas that we will look at. And so that's what we do, because that's what a ferret would do, and that's our call. So as we look at this, we're saying we've covered a number of topics, so far. We have looked at what is our call? Our call is to be involved. What is our role? Our role is to be that of a ferret, so we find out information so that we don't make mistakes when we cast our ballot. We don't make mistakes when we select a candidate to work for. We don't make mistakes when we decide which policy position we're going to follow.